IWC. Okay, I've not really played with one of these too much. Obviously, I've checked them out when I've been to authorized dealers and stuff like that, but this one, thankfully, was sent over from the pre-owned section at Exquisite Timepieces, Naples, Florida. Big thanks to Jon Richardson for setting up this shipment of watches, which I picked. Basically, I picked some ones that I wouldn't typically see on this channel, but I'm interested in. And Jon was like, great choices, send them right over to me. This is one of them, okay? So the green dial on this is really what pulls you in, beyond the fact that the IWC is a brand and the watches are just stellar, for sure, right? Now, Exquisite Timepieces is authorized dealer for over 60 brands, but pre-owned, they have even more options, and you can get some deals, or you might just have the accessibility to watches that are otherwise very difficult to get. And that's probably the case with this guy here. This is a limited edition. They only made 1,000 of them, so they are tough to find. So price is going to dictate that, right? Whether it's on the pre-owned, secondary, however you deal with it. What is it? Supply and demand sort of thing, right? Okay, let's get into the watch though. So this is a 43 millimeter stainless steel watch. It looks a little bit bigger, and that's just because the dial is so big. There's not much bezel, right? So the dial is really big, but it's good because it balances out. There's no interruption of the Arabic numbers other than the absence of the 369, the cardinal positions in 12, which is often gone anyway. But you have all the other numbers, and they're not cut out like a lot of chronographs. And you still have 3 registers here and a day and a date. So pretty cool. The lug-to-lug is a 53.4 millimeter long, but you'll often see that on, pilot style watches or Fliegers, and this is basically a pilot chronograph. Actually, it's called the Pilot Chronograph Edition Racing Green is what it's called. I don't know if I would have put those words in that particular order, but they did. The thickness is 15.2, which is, quite frankly, not that thick for this style of watch. It's an automatic chronograph, 3 register, with a day and a date. We do have this running, so I'm going to go ahead and start the chronograph. And as we talk about it, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can get a closer look at this beautiful green dial. So you have that running seconds there with the red seconds hand at the 9 o'clock position. That will hack. You do have a screw down crown. It only has 60 meter water resist. So, but when you pop that all the way out, you hack the movement. So that's really cool as well. You do have 21 millimeter lug width. Kind of a weird lug width, but the strap is probably the best leather strap that I've handled on a watch. The IWC leather straps are not to be dismissed. They are nothing short of amazing. It is a very, very good feeling leather strap. 7.2 millimeter crown, like I said, it is signed and it is screwed down, holding a 60 meter water resist. Basically, don't get this thing wet. This is not a watch to get wet. As we look at the case back again, I did cover up the number of the limited edition. Some of these pre-owned watches, I'm just not going to share that information. It's not relevant. You guys don't need to know it. But there's only 1,000 of them, and they are actually numbered of what number you get. So if there's 999 of you out there with this watch, you guys can all communicate, and you can probably figure out what number this is. But I doubt you'll be able to do it. Okay, so great winding on this. The movement is actually the caliber 79320 is what IWC is calling it. Now, it is based off from the Valjoux 7750. However, it is not a base 7750. IWC has changed some of the architecture of it, and basically, I don't want to say like re-engineered it, but they got their paws in there, and they reworked some things, mainly the barrel and some other functions of it, making it their own movement. It's still, like I said, based off the 7750, but is not a base 7750, if that makes sense. So up at the 12 o'clock position here, you have a 30-minute counter, and then at the bottom position here, you have the 12-hour counter. So it will count many of minutes and hours. And then you still have your running seconds. It has a 40-hour power reserve, 44-hour power reserve, beats at 4 hertz, and has 25 joules. I think we've pretty much covered everything. I mean, AR coating, beautiful, probably diamond cut, rhodium plated handset. I didn't look that up, but I'm guessing that's the case at this caliber. You're going to see exquisite finishing with the watch. It is mostly brushed, so this is a watch that you could absolutely wear. There is lume on this watch as well. So if you're looking for a high-end daily wear chronograph, this could be the one. It is definitely a stunner. All right, let's pop it on wrist. And then before we do the lume shot, we'll stop the chronograph and operate the snapback of it because it does snap right back. The model number on this is called the IW3 77726. And I'll put a link so you have a direct link to Exquisite Timepieces listing for this watch. I didn't discuss the price. Click the link because it's a pre-owned one and the market can change. So you'll definitely go there. I'll also put a contact information so you can get a hold of John. But if John's busy, you know, Nick, Tyler, Graham, all of the and Joe, all those guys can help you out. So no matter who you get a hold of, there's a great crew over there, and they're going to take care of you. So there it is in my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Wears great. Easily one of the better looking chronographs I've had on the show. I will attempt to put a link in the description to Exquisite Timepieces. If I can figure out maybe an alternative from one of their 60 brands that they're authorized dealers of, I might have a difficult time doing that occasionally, but if I have a pre-owned piece in when I video it, I'm going to attempt to do that, just because odds are you're going to watch this video, you're going to click the link, and this watch is going to be sold. It's going to be gone. That's just the way it works on the pre-owned side. The things don't really sit that long there. So I would like to present to you a potential option from their lineup that you might still be able to get, you know, by clicking on their link and getting a hold of any of the great crew over there. Okay, enough rambling about that. Let's give this a quick blast with the UV light, kill the studio lights. Before we do that, let's stop the chronograph, and you can see everything snap back to 0. Now, let's see what the lume is like on this thing. So you have the cardinal positions, and then you have a ton of real estate with the hour and minute hand. So it'll be plenty legible because at the 12 o'clock position, you have the triangle for orientation. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next vid.